All right, I'm going to walk you through using the Effect Controls panel in Premiere. I'll do this over the course of 2 lessons. In the first one, I'm going to show you some of the default values. I'm going to show you how you can use it to change an effect that you've already added to a clip in Premiere. In the second half, I'm going to show you how to use it as an animation tool, how you can add keyframes to change the properties and the values of animations. So first off, when might I want to use effect controls? What can I change with it? Well, let's take a look real quick at this Arizona commercial that I'm putting together, just like you're the one that you've put together. And I have this great shot of these tourists. They're all looking out at the Grand Canyon. It's very majestic. But if you look right here on the edge, I have this kid kind of fiddling with his armpit. And then up here, I have a little bit of maybe the lens hood or another attachment to the camera that's kind of coming into the shot. So I want to change those things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the Effect Controls tab, and I'm going to select it. Now, if you ever are in Premiere and for some reason you don't see it, it's not present, you get a situation like this where you can look all around and there's no Effect Controls panel. The very easiest and quickest way, and generally there's a question about this on your certification test, is just to come to Window and drop down here and choose the panel that you're looking for. There it is, Effect Controls. I can click on that and boom, I've got it. So first thing you'll notice, like I said before, nothing is going on in this panel, and that's because I don't have a clip selected. If you haven't selected a clip, then Premiere's not going to know what you want to change, what effect you want to change. So I'm going to select this clip that's got my scratching armpit kid. And once I do, you'll notice that I have a series of choices. We're not going to worry about the time remapping choice. We're just going to worry about these top 2. First one is motion. And if I click on this triangle and twirl these selections down, you'll notice that I have a series of things that I can change. First of all, I can change the position, and if I click and drag left or right, scrub on these numbers, you'll notice that I can move this clip on the x-axis. So I could move the clip over to get rid of that kid, but then I'd have this big stretch of black right here, which would be a problem. So I can click on this little icon here to reset those values back to the original numbers. This will help me move it up, down if I wanted to do that. I don't, so I'm going to reset that. What I want to do, though, is I want to affect the scale. So I can click and drag on this number, and I can just make this shot scale up ever so slightly to about 105. Then I can kind of go through this clip and make sure that I don't ever have to worry about that kid sticking his business into my beautiful shot of Arizona. There we go, I'm good. Now, if for some reason I wanted to change the rotation, I could do the same thing there by clicking and dragging on that number. I don't want to. And anchor point's something that comes into play more with animation. Now I can come down here as well, and opacity, it would allow me, if I so chose, to come in here and animate or drop the opacity of a clip. If I had another clip that I wanted to show underneath this one, then that would be a really easy way to do that. So I'm going to reset that value as well. And twirl that back up because I'm not worried about it. All right, so that's some easy ways to affect the scale, to affect the position if I want to do that. Now, let's say I add an effect to this clip. So I'm going to go to Effects, and what I've done is I've come to Video Effects, Blur and Sharpen, and I've found Gaussian Blur. I'm just going to click and drag that on. And right now you'll notice there's no change, but you'll notice that once I added that effect, then all of a sudden there it is in my Effect Controls panel. So right there, I can come in and I can click and drag on this number and say I want to make this clip really blurry for whatever reason. That gives me a really easy way to do that. If I decide that I've had it with the effect and I just would rather it not be on there anymore, I can always click right here and just click on that FX icon, and then it's going to disappear. So the Effect Controls panel gives you really quick, really easy options for changing a few of the parameters of your clips. Next time around, I'll show you how to use it as an animation controller that will allow you to do some cool things with text and with effects.